Welcome to episode 105 of Gods and Heroes of Ancient Greece. My name is MyLinda Butterworth, and today we will continue with the tales of Troy and the story of Memnon. When the sun rose over Troy, it shone on a troubled city. On the ramparts were the Trojans keeping anxious watch, for they feared that at any moment the victor might come, set ladders against the walls, and burn up the town. Then an old man by the name of Thymoetes rose in the council and said, "Friends, in vain have I tried to think of some way to ward off destruction. Now that Hector had died at the hands of indomitable Achilles, I believe that even if a god fought on our side, he would fall in the fight. Did not the son of Peleus kill the Amazon before whom the other Argives trembled? And this in spite of the fact that she was so strong and gallant that all of us took her for a goddess and rejoiced at the mere sight of her. And so, we must consider whether it might not be best for us to leave this unfortunate city, which is doomed to destruction, and settle elsewhere, in some safe place which the vengeful Danae could not reach." So said Thymoetes. Then Priam rose in the assembly and answered him. "You, my friend," he said, "and all you Trojans and allies, let us not give up our beloved city and face even greater dangers than here by trying to fight our way through the foes who surround us on all sides. At least let us wait until Memnon comes. Memnon, the Ethiopian from the land of black men. He is already on his way to bring us help with a countless host. Much time has passed since I dispatched a messenger to him. Wait just a little longer. For even if we all should die in the battle for our city, that would be better than leading a poor and inglorious life among strangers." And now Polydamas intervened between these two who held such opposing views. He was both shrewd and deliberate, and expressed his opinion in well-chosen words. "I shall be glad to see Memnon, but I fear that he and all the men he brings with him will fall in our behalf and only plunge us into still greater distress. All the same, I do not believe we should leave the land of our fathers. My suggestion is that even at this late date we surrender the cause of the whole war, Helen, and everything she brought with her from Sparta. Let us give her back to the Argives before they divide all our possessions between them and set fire to our city." In their hearts the Trojans agreed with these words and applauded them, but they did not dare contradict their king openly. Paris, however, Helen's husband, accused Polydamas, the well-wisher of the Argives, as he called him, of rank cowardice. "The man who gives us such counsel," he said, "would be the first to flee in battle. Think well, Trojans, if it is really wise to follow the counsel of such as he." Polydamas knew very well that Paris would not relinquish Helen, and would rather rouse the army to revolt, rather die than renounce her. So he said nothing in reply, and all the assembly sat in silence. While they were still sunk in thought, news came that Memnon was approaching. The Trojans felt like sailors when, after a storm which promised sure death, they see the stars shining in the sky once more. But King Priam was gladdest of all, for he did not doubt that with the aid of the Ethiopians, the Trojans would succeed in burning the Argive fleet. So, when Memnon, the son of Eos, arrived, the king honored him and his men with precious gifts and festive banquets, and the hearts of the Trojans grew lighter as they talked of the deeds of their fallen heroes. Memnon, on his part, told them about his immortal parents, Thynos and Eos, about the boundless sea and the ends of the earth, the rising of the sun, and the long, long way he had journeyed from the shores of the oceans to the peaks of Ida and the city of King Priam, and all the adventures of travel which he had met boldly and well. It cheered Priam to listen to him. Full of friendly warmth, he seized his hand and said, "Memnon, How I thank the gods for having let me, an old man, live to see you and your army, and to entertain you in my palace. You, more than any other mortal, are like the gods, and that is why I am confident that you will slaughter our foes. And the king lifted his golden cup and drank to his new ally. Memnon marveled at the beautiful cup, the work of Hephaestus, an heirloom passed from one Trojan king to his son. Then he replied, "It would not be proper for me to boast at the feast and to make too confident promises. So I shall give you my answer. So I shall not give you my answer now, but enjoy this banquet in peace and think over the preparations which are necessary for our enterprise. It is in battle that a man must show his valor. Let us retire early and sleep, for too much wine and a giddy night would be an ill beginning for the fight which awaits us." With this, he rose from the board, and Priam was careful not to urge him to stay. The other guests followed Memnon's example. Now, while the mortal men were asleep, the gods were still feasting in the palace of Zeus and discussing the war of Troy. Zeus, son of Cronus, who saw the future as clearly as the present, was the last to speak. "It is useless to concern yourself, some for the Argives, other for the Trojans, for you will see countless men and horses fall on both sides. And though one or the other of you may have the welfare of his or that hero at heart, do not dream of coming to me and pleading for a son or a friend, for the goddess of fate are just as implacable toward me as towards you." Not one of the mortals dared contradict the father of gods. Silently they left the feast. Each went to his own house and threw himself sadly on his couch until at last sleep had pity on the gods as well as on the men. And here is where I end my tale for today. But I'll be back with more tales. Many more tales. Until then, my friends, enjoy the journey.